Hello, hello. Hope everyone is doing well. Check to see if the audio levels are working great. I'll be showing you guys some of the samples from the new sample pack, and we're gonna decide. Well, you're gonna actually decide if you think that doesn't actually work. But that being said, this is for a lot of deep house and tech house, minimal house. Anyone like any house producers or just want to have like some really awesome, like crispy drums, and we have also some. We're gonna get into it, but I'm gonna show you guys. But first, I'm going to just make sure on YouTube we are live because I rarely go live on YouTube, and so double check so that way when we're already getting into it, you guys aren't being like, "Oh, the audio doesn't work." Oh, okay. But it's weird that the microphone has got this like weird process. If we could just change that real fast, just 'cause I want it to sound like that. 'Cause it probably is in, you'd think um, like a producer would have a good idea of how to use Streamlabs filters, but it is a little different. We got a noise gate. Maybe if we know that that's what's creating some of the choppiness, noise suppression. I think if we just really take out, oh, I have that so that way it doesn't pick up the volume from the speakers. So we got the expander, make it louder. Noise gate. Might just have to deal with it for now, and then obviously we're gonna get better into the rest. So let's actually see what happens if I just take that noise gate. Um, let's just take that off, and then also let's take off the. That should be good actually. Let's see if the noise gate is what's causing the issue, and then I promise we're gonna get right into it. But actually, I think it did work well. It might have yeah. Let's just go with that for now. But welcome. Sit back, relax. We're going to be making some deep house and some house vibes today. And this was a house idea that I made just recently, yesterday. And then I threw in Rihanna's vocals in it, and it actually ended up working really well. So I'm like, okay, Rihanna remix. But I might not be able to play it live, so I could take the vocals out. Maybe play what is it like 7 seconds? Let's try 7 seconds and then. Oh, I see. I still need to put the multi output in. That way you guys can hear it. I can hear it. Important. You guys can hear it now. Oh, wait. I just gotta change the audio preferences. MIDI. I'm gonna take off the MacBook. So it's not going through there. There we go. So. Just take it on back, boy. Take it on back, boy. Take it back all night. Just take it on back. Take it on back. I'm just gonna mute it on certain parts, just so that way it's not gonna. That was a new technique I was trying. Is to mid side, but like boosted so that way it has more presence in the mid, so it's not completely on the sides. But I think it ended up working. But honestly, I'm still tweaking the pianos to make them sound good. But this was actually a demonstration of using the samples in the sample packs, and so I used the kicks, I used the claps. You can see right here, I used the top loops. I just chopped it up, made it my own. And so I like the little moments, and then also making this is like a really cool groove where it had this kind of skip to it, and it just added like a really nice feeling. guess you can't really hear it. Oh yeah, I mean I made it without the vocal at first, so a lot of these um, decisions were without the vocal. Yeah. So you get some background sounds. We are using the Deep Blue kick, yeah, kick 2, great kick. I really like this one. And then we have some loose claps. We are sidechaining it to the group, and then we're using the top loops. This one actually we're not using. A lot of the ideas. Well, I'll just throw ideas, see what kind of lands. End up using the Deep Blue top loops that are available in the description. Then also we use this other top loop um, to fill things out. It has a really cool ear candy lasers and stuff like that. And then we also have the shaker. I really just like how crisp that sounds. With this clap, we have a nice. It's got this cool flam to it. I was trying some other ideas here, and then we have like this riser that I ended up using just as like a sustain. It has a really cool. It fills out that background. Um, and then we got just some white noise in the background and just stuff to fill out the higher frequencies and small little fills and stuff. This actually I think is part of the kit. Um, just like this fill that I shortened up, and then with all these layers, actually I do have it in the bass shots. So it is just a collection. If you actually want to see the processing behind how I do the bass shots, is I'll do, let's see, 1, 2, 3, about 3 layers just for the bass. You got the top layer. So that's good. That's the sub, and then that's also a sub. So I have 2 subs. This has got more of a mid sub, and then the sub. I like using this sub, which is the stock Ableton one, for glides, just small things like that. So it actually isn't even gliding. So um, I think I meant for it to glide, but then so it's supposed to sound good. But I kind of like it choppy, so it sounded not bad. So I'm gonna keep it like that for now. And then I had just a harmonic, used I kind of used a 7th, so that way it adds a little bit of like kind of a teeniness in the higher frequencies, but like just gives the bass a bit more presence. Yeah, and then just kind of playing around with the rhythm of it. So the bass grooves that I'm gonna be showing you guys in the Deep Blue bass grooves have very similar patterns. I just made this one up yesterday, and then we also used. Oh, I actually didn't end up using the Deep Blue suspense string, but that's really good for background ambience. And yeah, so kind of that's kind of the makings of this track, and then just use the classic house piano, just the M1, which is a go-to one. Really classic house track sound. I mean, a house sound, and you just use the compressor, some soothe, just to make things a little less harsh. And then I also brought it out a little bit more with Saturn, and then put it in a space with Valhalla, and then another space with the delay. We got Echo Boy. Right. And I also panned it completely left. Probably I should, I was kind of playing around with spaces to see where it actually sounded good. It could sound good if we panned it left and right, because then that would just like add some extra dimension. That's kind of what I did with the mid one. Not like there's no completely correct way. I just kind of do it with, does it sound good? Does it feel good? And sometimes it does end up working out. I'd probably keep tweaking it. Maybe add another synth just to fill out the mid range in the pianos. because it does have some depth, but if there's still could yeah, I think it could use just a little bit. Maybe I should compress them together a little bit and kind of glue it all together so the piano sound a little bit more thick. It's not like fully mixed or anything. I barely did any mixing. Just see some of the other ideas I had here. This is like a quick uh, afterthought. I just pretty much just used regular, just used Serum and let's see. I think it's just yeah, knit preset 10 voices. Probably overdoing it there. No effects or anything. Just the cutoff that I'm opening in a stylistic way, and then I also have another, just opening it up a little bit like that up there. And this is a cool effect that that Rihanna uses a lot. And let's see if I yeah, it's on the group. So it just sounds like that. Which, if you were really to hear it, it's just a sample that I took from Instagram. That's just like a vocal. That has doesn't sound anything like that. It's kind of what spurred this whole idea. I really like the chord progression, and so it's like a really simple sound. This is what it sounded like. Um, Not like that. I really like that. And so I started kind of making my own vocals and trying to do that. So this has got the filter on there. So this is not actually tuned properly because I did pitch everything down. So let's go 1, 2, 3. I think it was 3. It's 4. So that was the original melody that I came up with because I like that with the chords. Obviously, there's like it's still a pretty raw vocal and it needs some tuning there. But I really like that melody and it just end up just changed it just 'cause I wanted to sound a little bit more polished. For I'm going to be showing people just like examples of my work, which this is. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. This was just like a quick. I wasn't meaning to do like a complete walkthrough of how I made this remix, but you guys get the idea. I did use a lot of the sounds from the new Deep Blue and the Deep Blue MIDI bass lines. Actually, no, I didn't use any of the MIDI bass lines, but that's some really cool. You can see. I'm going to show you guys actually just a quick example of me using these and how easy you can just interchange ideas. So I'm not gonna save. Actually, what I'll do, I like where it's at right now, so I am gonna save. Just like the way whatever tweaks I did with the piano, I just kind of like how it sounds right now. So what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna put the deep blue bass lines on all of the sounds that I'm gonna be using. This one is gonna mute that, and so that's gonna be lined up. We're going to just solo it. It's gonna be interesting because not all of them are gonna just instantly work, but we're going to just take the drums, we're gonna put them in a loop. That way you can kind of hear the variations of the MIDI basses and then also the drums, which I used for I used the what's it the top loops and also the D2 stuff. So this, we're just gonna put the cymbals in there, and then that should be pretty much all of the drums. So I'm gonna group that up. That way it's just a little bit easier to solo it whenever we're changing. So, oh, I see. I think I messed it up here because the pick is being sent. So yeah, that's the thing. So let me move this out of the group because I am sidechaining the whole group and the kick isn't coming through. Let me just put it outside. Oh, 1 second. I have a call, but I'm So yeah, it's a little too low for now, just because it's out of the range. So not all the sounds are gonna just work straight out. Let's see that one. It could be a little higher because it's a top. It's a top. What's it called? Top hit or a top bass. That one's good for the low one, and then this one is the mid. Actually, that could be a lower because it's so just like really quickly, like we just do that in and it just works. So it's really meant to take the guesswork out of like, oh, what rhythms sound good. You can change the sounds, like you can change the sounds and you can change the notes, so that way you can still use that same rhythm, but also make it your own. You can put, let's say that's a little too low, so a little higher. And it's really these are all like professional, like these are rhythms that the pros use. I've studied deep house for so long that it just becomes more of a reflex for me to make these really catchy rhythms. You don't want to overcomplicate the rhythm, but this is just like the perfect balance between something that's easy to follow and then has some variation, either at the end or wherever I decide it sounds good. So these are just like a really easy template for people who don't really have a full understanding of how to make really catchy bass lines, but know how to fill out the rest of the track, and this could really help you piece it together a little nicely. So this is another example. That could be a little lower. I mean, a little higher. So that's a little too low for this one. That's interesting. I like that. So all these are like from certain songs that I've already done too. Let's just try one more so you guys get an idea, and then we're gonna actually just start making something fresh. So we're gonna have this a little higher. That's the only thing is you gotta make sure that they're working for the certain layers that you like. But I also in Deep Blue you can just use the bass shots, and then you can just those are already gonna have all three layers. Pretty much the layers that I'm using here are in Deep Blue, so I actually could just show you doing that. Really easy, like drag and drop. All of a sudden, I have like 4 really strong ideas with some really strong drums too, and these drums are available on in Deep Blue as well. So like you can just go into the drum section. Some of the snare builds are on in there, and then we have the picks, we have percussion, the deep loops, the percussion loops. We have some top loops, some without claps, some with claps, all sorts of BPMs, and then vocals, effects, sweepers, bonuses, ear candy. Has some really interesting sounds that I've cultivated over the years, like just random things like that. Like that actually would sound good as like a pre going into the drop. So like something like this would be, but like it'd be in the right key. So it'd be like a. And even in that space, like you have something. You just make it your own. You can these are just all tools, so you don't have to do it the way I do it. There you go. So like something like that. Or maybe have it here. And then see like something kind of like this at the end. That'd be interesting. It's just about figuring out what works for you, what you like the sound of. I try to make this as easy as possible, just throwing ideas down and really interesting sounds that wouldn't necessarily be in your standard sample pack, but you're like, oh, that's what I want. I want something sounding a little bit different and still have that professional quality. Like you could have just like this cool scratcher, and then maybe even just a slight scratch like that. Reverse it. That's actually just a kick being scratched. It's really cool. You can take a little moment like that, and add it. That's the same thing I just did. Right here. There we go. So there we go. But just finding cool moments that add ear candy, add interest, momentum in your music that you wouldn't necessarily have thought of, but now the fact that you can just drag these ideas down, it just makes it so much easier. You don't have to make it the way that I made it. It takes that the thinking out of it and leaves you into being more creative and not having to worry as much about what sounds are the sounds that like are they even strong enough for this drop. Like that's a huge part in how like the progression of a song and like how to make it sound good is all in the sound selection. So I've spent I really spent a long time trying to get the right sounds so that way the, the bass and the drums and everything will sound good together if you just even just do simple mixing, just a side chain and the bass shots already have the layers on them already, so pretty much just a drag and drop in that sense. So like if I just take this idea that we just use a random bass shot that I already have here, and then solo that instead of the layers that I had. So I can just have to pitch it up in the right, and then we can do the shot. Like I said, it already sounds good. So, oops. Oh yeah, no, let's try this one. See, like they all have sound like a certain texture to it that make it stand out in the mix. But like in its own way too. So you gotta tune it for the track. You guys get the idea. I could do this forever, but we're gonna create something new, and yeah, I'm excited to see what we can come up with. But if you guys haven't already, just go check it out and see what you guys think of it because put a lot of work into it. Plus, there's a whole bunch of um other resources too. Like I do a lot of interviews for um, artists, and we just talk about our experience, how we navigated doing music, and our journey, and all the downfalls, and all the triumphs, and just really that's part of what I like to. I just like to connect with other artists, and that's going to be on the website too. So that's the producer pod. That's the podcast that I have. You guys can connect with me on there and see if you guys have similar stories and maybe get something out of it. So hopefully you guys do. So yeah, go check it out. Let me know what you think. I'd love for you guys to tag me into some of your works and see how you guys implement it into your workflow, the sample packs that is. And actually, I have a new new podcast episode coming out tomorrow. I'll be interviewing a DMV rapper, Poppy Nove, and he's an interesting character. He has a lot of years. He's like 10 plus. I think like 12 years of experience in the music game, and he's definitely pretty edgy. So I think it's pretty polarizing. He's quite a character. I have a lot of respect for him. He's a good guy, hard worker. So go check him out. It's gonna be live on the producer pod at 12 o'clock p.m. Um, Eastern Standard Time. So by tomorrow. So yeah, check that out. Anyway, we're gonna just get into making something new with the pack and just see what we can come up with. and I'm excited to see what we can come up with. So first, we'll just start like a good place to start, just throwing a MIDI, um, a what are they called? Just throwing some MIDI in and see what we can. So this looks like it's got an extra. Stop that off, and then we're going to add a bass shot. It's just that's the one that we already did. It looks like this is the same bass line that we already. Let's add this one. Yeah. So that's actually got this really catchy. I like that a lot. It's got this like summery vibe already. We just gotta make it warp right. It looks like it's stretching a little bit, but we can actually give it a shot. Yep. Let's just add a kick. Maybe good work. Looks like we already have some variation on this side, so we'll use that. I'm just gonna make a drop and we'll go from there. So we'll get some claps. That actually works really well. Add that last one. Boom. That could be just a decent idea. And reverse that. Fine. Fine. And then we can add. Yeah, that's so this could actually be a reverbed out flat. What we're gonna do is that, add reverb, and then resample, solo it, and take just that part, reverse it, and actually we could just use the kind of make it fade to it, each other. We really want it to feel like it's move this, anyway. Now it has a little bit of a tail, and we're going to take some station for the moment. So. Find some fade stuff out. Yeah, there. Now it has a little bit into the next part. These are just the subtle things that that are going to make your track um, have energy. So this is actually really nice. Hi-hat. I really like the too. Got the reverb on it. Check that out. And so actually, I'm going to just have that on every 4, and that'll be like an interesting ear candy hi-hat sound. And then that seems like a standard one, so we can just have that. And we'll have that every 4 as well. 2, 2. And then we could add another drum, perhaps a percussion. Oh, these are just really cool. I love this percussion sound because it's just got this like really subtle low end. It really just adds like another full level to the groove. Yeah. Then we can just do like a random fill. So this is actually kind of an error. Oh, this is nice. Yeah, cool. Yep, just add that little cool double kick in there. So now all together. Already got some really cool sounds in there. I'm gonna add a compressor, and that way we're gonna sidechain the kick. That way everything is gonna start grooving. We want the volume to duck down. So I think I can groove. It doesn't matter what we use here. We're just using it as a signal, and then we're gonna just that and the volume down, so that's not even gonna be audible. Side chain, and then route it to the kick. Drop the threshold down. For the peak, you can change release. So whatever you want the groove to be in, and then we should have like a sub bass too. So we can add cool sub bass. Here's a cool tip for whenever you want to make your mid bass a little bit stand out. You can do R bass, and this is just going to make the mid stand out a little bit more. Just gonna add a limiter real fast. There we go. So right there, we can have that on the fourth too. And just make a little bit more of a space. So we're gonna take certain sounds like this percussion loop, and then actually that's it for now. And we're gonna add that to the side chain so that way it's not missing. Oh yeah, that we can put it on the loop there, and then we're gonna put this. That's we're not even using the top loops yet. Just you wait. So once we use these top loops, they're already way crispier. And then we can just add some other random ones. Hey, so honestly, right there, that's club vibes. So there we go. So now let's add something melodic to it. Sort of something on film. There we go. So we'll just use that now. I think that could have been a little bit better. Yep. So we have these background. Let's Let's get kind of like something hypnotic. You could have a vocal chop or something like that. Actually, probably something in deep blue. We could that work for this. Maybe a little moment that we could just use this. Let's just see. Just for now, just like something in the background to just keep something steady. It doesn't have to be all from this pack either. Like it's multi-purpose, but it doesn't have everything. You know, I haven't made like a vocal pack. It's got like certain things you can throw in there. A firefly. So are you gonna break it? Will you break? Oh, that's kind of cool. That is nice. So are you gonna break it? Will you break it? Will you break this oath again? That's kind of weird. Let's just think about that. So are you gonna break it? So are you gonna break it? I kind of like that. Na 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 na. So are you gonna break? So are you gonna break it? Will you break it? Will you break this oath? I just like that one moment. So are you gonna break? So are you gonna break? So are you gonna? So let's see that. So are you gonna break it? So are you gonna break it? Use that. We're probably gonna make it turn into like a whistle or something. So are you gonna break it? Will you break this oath again? And let's just see what it sounds like with this groove. Are you gonna break it? Will you break it? Will you break this oath again? I don't wanna fake it. Don't wanna fake it. I wanna live it till the end. Well, actually, I actually like the double fake, but fake it. I wanna live it till the end. So till the end. It's pretty pretty corny, but I'll show you how I would actually make this into like an instrument. Because that's what we want. We don't want it like we're using it that vocal as an instrument. We're just gonna add just like this. Are you gonna break it? 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 Will you? I don't wanna fake it. So just like small moments. Break it. And then we're just gonna add a little altar boy on there. And that's going to make them high pitch. So just starting to make random, like interesting texture to it, and then we could overdrive it. So we could use tap there, and just this is a cool trick. You punish it, the drive all the way up. I cut low, and then if you turn it dark. We're just going to control this a little bit. So this is as I start coming up with ideas. Now I would take this one, and take that out. We don't even this is like it's pretty lame. I mean, it's not lame, but it's basic. so we could start to amplify it a little bit. I'm already hearing a rhythm that we can do with some piano, so we're just gonna do that. Same rhythm, but I'm just gonna show you some chords. Piano, and I think we're just gonna do like a regular, just for now, just to get things out down. We'll just do it by one. So we have to change this thing. That's fine. And so. Just playing around with the voicing here. We're gonna use the classic house piano. It's a very popular piano. Wait for that to load. You guys like this walkthrough so far? Just let me know in the comments. But actually, it helps if you press that like button. Pretty cool. slight variation. That one just has less tension. Which could work for that. Yeah. We could try doing something with this. Maybe adding. There it is. Let's try that. Hey. Nah. It's a cool melody deal. Really could be another part. It really could be in the background too. Let's try that. So you gotta pick the melody that suits it first. So that could work, and then when you get into different melodies. So this is just a little corny. So I'm gonna make this a little cooler, and I'm just going to amp. Make it wide. Just use that transient, and then the delay is really cool. Take that delay out, and we don't need it. So this could be a little louder. Honestly, I haven't completely decided if I like it fully, but it is an idea, which is like the beginning of creating momentum in your thinking. Okay, maybe we can use this part. It's like another paint that you can play around with. So we can add. That's interesting.